Hello and welcome to Raju Notes channel, your pit stop for weekly current affairs updates. The updates tailor-made for students taking all kinds of competitive exams like UPSC, civils, defense and placement interviews. Please subscribe to the channel and stay updated every Sunday. Pakistan has reportedly prepared two draft ordinances to impose rupees 20,000 crores in new taxes day after it accepted the IMF's demands to resume a stalled loan program. The cash-strapped nation is also considering discontinuing power subsidies, hikes in power and gas tariffs, reported Dawn. Notably, Pakistan increased petrol and diesel prices by rupees 35 per litre last week. Baidu, China's largest search engine company, is reportedly planning to roll out an artificial intelligence chatbot service similar to OpenAI's ChatGPT. As per Bloomberg, Baidu will debut these services in March and will initially embed it into its main search services. The development comes as Microsoft announced multi-billion-dollar investment in ChatGPT, marker OpenAI. India defeated England by 7 wickets in the finals to win inaugural Under-19 Women's T20 World Cup. India dismissed England for 68 and chased down the target in 14 overs. It is the first time that India won a women's ICC tournament. India has finished runners-up at the Women's World Cup in 2005 and 2017 and Women's T20 World Cup in 2020. The ruler of Dubai and Prime Minister of UAE, Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, has ordered that a district in the Emirates be renamed Al Minhad and its surrounding 84 square kilometers area will now be known as Hind City to honor the contributions of India and the Hindus towards humanity. The International Monetary Fund has said that India to remain the fastest growing major economy in the world despite global headwinds. The IMF released its January update on World Economic Outlook this week. It said that India will grow at 6.1% in 2023 before picking up to 6.8% in 2024, fueled by resilient domestic demand. IMF also pointed out that the growth in emerging and developing Asia is expected to rise at 5.3% in 2023 and 5.2% in 2024. On a positive note, IMF said that negative growth in the global GDP or global GDP per capita is not expected despite the fears of recession. The IMF stated that the growth in China is projected to rise 5.2% in 2023. Pointing to rapidly improving mobility. With already crippling economy of Pakistan and the price of $1 equaling to 280 rupees in Pakistan, it is another strike on Pakistan's struggling economy. Now, Iran has also asked Pakistan to construct a portion of the allotted Iran-Pakistan gas line project, that is the IP gas line project, in its territory till February-March 2024 or be ready to pay a penalty of staggering $18 billion. The Israeli government handed over the port of Haifa to Adani Group and its joint venture partner Garrod Group on Tuesday for $1.2 billion. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu called the deal as an enormous milestone. The port of Haifa is the second largest port in Israel in terms of shipping containers and the biggest in shipping tourist cruise ships. This comes despite the report of the Hindenburg. Indian astronauts will receive advanced training at NASA's Johnson Space Center under the Initiative on Critical and Emerging Technologies (ICET), the White House said on Tuesday. India and US will also cooperate on planetary defense as part of the initiative. National Security Advisor Ajit Doval and his US counterpart Jake Sullivan led the inaugural meeting of ICET on Tuesday. The state of emergency in Myanmar was extended by a further 6 months as the military latest takeover of the government completed 2 years on Wednesday. The extension was granted by the National Defense and Security Council at the request of the military junta chief. The day also saw the US and its allies announce fresh sanctions against the junta. International Monetary Fund (IMF) has rejected Pakistan's revised circular debt management plan, calling it unrealistic and made on basis of wrong assumptions. IMF has asked Pakistani government to increase electricity tariff in the range of Pakistani rupees of 11 to 12.5 per unit, to restrict additional subsidy at Pakistani rupees 335 billion for financial year 2023. Pakistan had increased the power tariff by rupees 7 per unit in 2023's first 2 quarters. The Taliban on Tuesday welcomed India's union budget, wherein the government of India announced an aid of rupees 200 crores for Afghanistan. We appreciate the development assistance India has extended to the Islamic Emirates of Afghanistan. It will boost ties and trust between the two countries, a Taliban spokesperson said. India's initiative in Afghanistan were halted after Taliban's takeover in 2021. Pakistan's Punjab province has reportedly directed Chinese citizens living in the province and working with private companies to hire their own security. The move has been taken in the wake of recent terror attacks in the country. Notably, the Punjab province government is set up a Special Protection Unit (SPU) in 2014 for security of foreign nationals involved in the government-sponsored projects. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has emerged as world's most popular leader with an approval rating of 78%. This was revealed in a global leaders approval rating released by a US-based consulting firm Morning Consult. Prime Minister Modi has left behind world leaders in terms of popularity as per the latest rating. These leaders include US President Joe Biden, French President Emmanuel Macron, and UK Prime Minister Rishi Sunak. The State Bank of India is clearing payments made by Indian refiners for Russian oil purchased via Dubai-based traders in dirhams instead of US dollars, Reuters reported. Indian refineries are concerned they may not be able to continue to settle trades in dollar, especially if Russian crude prices rise above a cap imposed by the G7 nations, the report added. The US Defense Department is tracking a suspected Chinese surveillance balloon that has been spotted over US airspace for a couple of days. Officials said the department has decided not to shoot it down due to the risk of harming people on the ground. Officials also added that the balloon has been flying over sensitive sites to collect information. US Secretary Antony Blinken has postponed an official visit to China after the suspected Chinese surveillance balloon was spotted flying over US Washington. China claimed that the flying apparatus had strayed into US airspace and was used for mainly meteorological purposes. The center has changed the definition of broadband connectivity by raising the minimum download speeds to 2 Mbps, that is megabytes per second. The minimum download speed was previously 512 kbps, kilobytes per second, as per the notification in July 2013. Notably, the median fixed broadband speed in India so far exceeds the minimum and at around 75.18 Mbps. The Chinese engineers and the staff have abandoned the repair of the mega 969 megawatt Neelum Jhelum hydropower project in Pakistan-occupied Kashmir, which is shut down since early July this year, after Pakistan faced a continuous shortage of fuel and electricity. The Chinese have given the excuse of local protest over the plan and the failure of Pakistani police officers to provide credible security. However, China's sudden reversal of the project has created a major rift between Pakistan and China over the joint hydropower projects.
And now for the segment where we see the events that unfolded this week back in history.
January 30, 1948. Gandhi is assassinated. On this day, 75 years ago, 39-year-old Nathuram Vinayak Godse sprayed 3 bullets into the frail 80-year-old body of Mahatma Gandhi, the Indian saint of non-violence and tolerance. Though Godse killed Gandhi, the legacy and the ideology of the half-naked fakir from India are immortal and remain relevant. Godse accused Gandhi of partitioning India and making Hindus weak through his rituals of fasting unto death. Gandhi believed that the highest form of courage is to be resistive to violence with non violence. January 31st, 1950, America orders the hydrogen bomb. On this day, 73 years ago, US President Harry S. Truman announced his decision to support the development of the hydrogen bomb, a weapon theorized to be hundreds of times more powerful than the atomic bomb dropped on Japan. Those were the early years of the Cold War, and the Soviet Union had already developed a nuclear bomb to achieve parity with the America. Nothing less than a super bomb could restore American military superiority. The hydrogen bomb is based on nuclear fusion, unlike fission bombs. February 2nd, 1905, Ayn Rand is born. On this day, 118 years ago, novelist Ayn Rand was born in St. Petersburg. She rejected Soviet communism and moved to United States in 1926. Also a philosopher and screenwriter, she is known for her two best-selling novels, The Fountainhead and Atlas Shrugged, and for developing a philosophical system called as objectivism. In the character of Howard Roark, she presented the vision of the ideal man, the one who greatness cannot be stopped. Her detractors decried objectivism as the glorification of selfishness. February 3rd, 1933, Hitler demands a living space for Germany. On this day, 90 years ago, Adolf Hitler declared that the expansion of Lebensraum, that is living space, into Eastern Europe and its Germanization were its ultimate geopolitical objectives. Lebensraum warranted expansion into other countries to provide resources for the growing German race. Hitler's mission for the world domination was relentless pursuit of Lebensraum by the Aryans of Germany. He was especially interested in acquiring Russia for his fatherland. The result was Barbarossa, the biggest military operation ever.
Well, that's all, friends, for this week's updates. See you soon next Sunday on the same channel. Till then, take care. Bye bye.